So what does AI art actually steal from an artist? I want to examine the way an artist steals or borrows or is influenced by artists to start with. I'm going to run this little experiment, starting off with a little bit of AI art which I'll print out. I'm going to try and render this in a few different ways. This is probably the opposite way of most people doing AI art. When you first start as an artist, you try all sorts of different styles, and of course that leads to copying. Art students learn from the masters. And even artists will still look at the masters and learn from that. Artists are always looking and taking in all this visual information. If I rendered this image in the style of some of the greats that I have admired over the years, this is just a great way for an artist to learn something. As you can see with this learning process, it means that you have to have access to lots of visual images. And before the internet, I had books. And so now I have this library in my art studio full of some of my favorite books. So you notice that I go and I retrieve the information on how an artist renders something, kind of copy it the best I can, put that book back, grab another book. So AI art works in a similar way. It has access to way more images than I could ever have. It does the process quicker, faster, and sometimes even better than an artist like me could do. Now the difference is that I kind of think that I copy this pretty badly. I kind of butcher these styles. I'm not very good at copying another artist's style, but in that bad reproduction I learn and end up developing my own style. And that's kind of the aim of the artist, is to be constantly evolving and developing their own style. AI art is kind of working the other way. It's stealing the style of other artists, reproducing them better than I could, and the work becomes derivative. So the style of an artist, it is something which is hard to put your finger on, and yet the artist's style is more important to the artist than any one image that might get copied. So morally, spiritually, philosophically, it is more important than copyright. So this is kind of like a copyright issue. It's more of an IP issue. It is something that's going to get thrashed out in court one day. Now, that's pretty scary because legal systems all over the world, they're all kind of broken. They rely upon procedure and flashy lawyers and who can argue the best. So it's very difficult when you look at lawyers and you look at the law, and it just gets very messy. But I did have a reassuring thought for you. One day they're going to have AI lawyers.